Hi, Rob Brown of ENCORE Partners here again. Thanks for listening in to this next in the series of AUM 250 videos where I walk you through the ENCORE method, the tool that I use to help advisors get to 50 million, 100 million, $250 million and beyond in assets under management. I'm also the author of a book called Delivering the Ultimate Client Experience. And I want to talk a little bit about that book today and how the lessons in that book apply to the overall ENCORE method. You see, I firmly believe that the way you deliver your client experience will significantly impact every aspect of your business. The better you are at delivering a client experience, everything in your business becomes simpler and easier. Whether it comes to teamwork, whether it comes to prospecting, whether it comes to servicing your clients, your ultimate client experience plays a big part. And you can see it here in the ENCORE method, where the ultimate client experience is an obvious part of defining your value and determining the way that you'll deliver your unique client proposition. And as you move up the ladder, as you move through the ENCORE method, you hit it square on in a section of the mastery of your practice of getting to that higher level of AUM when you think about how that experience impacts everything that you do, making your processes repeatable, where your business goes from being scattered to being laser focused on the type of clients that you serve best so that your business grows in a way that you want it to grow. So let's jump into this. Let's talk about delivering the ultimate client experience as a way to help you move through the roadmap, as a way to help you get to that next level of assets, whether you're going for 100 million or 250 million or more. You need to be aware of how your client experience will play into that. And it starts with something that is an immutable truth, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your business is going to come from 20% of your clients. Maybe it's going to be 90-10, maybe it's going to be 70-30, but it's going to be right around that 80-20 number, which means that you can actually grow your business by working, in many cases, with fewer clients. Less is more. Less can be more if you look at your business appropriately. And this is not to say you have to throw out a bunch of clients, although some of you may choose to move clients that you cannot serve well, that aren't big enough to meet your ideal, your ultimate client expectation, so that you can focus on those people that you serve best and help them find somebody who can serve them better. But I don't want to get into too much of that resegmenting and shifting right here. I just want to make sure that you're thinking about your business in this same structure. In fact, I'm going to walk you through an exercise that I do with my clients and use a real world example of how I helped one of my clients identify his less is more using the ultimate client experience process so that he could determine his fastest path to growth, his fastest path to adding new assets under management. So think about that. Less is more. And when you think about less is more, I want you to think about the way your clients are divided. And these aren't traditional client segments. I'm not going to talk about, A, B, and C in your clients. I want you to think about your clients in three distinct groups today. You have your ultimate clients. You may call them your ideal clients. Those are the folks that you would love to clone. You'd love to replicate them. They're the people that you enjoy working with the most. They drive most of your revenues. In fact, they are probably the 20 in your 80-20 or the 10 in your 90. So you have those ultimate clients. And then you have another good-sized group of clients that I call that are in the opportunity zone. For whatever reason, they haven't fully embraced your process, or you haven't fully embraced them. So you can't determine yet whether or not they have the potential to be ultimate clients. So there could be some ultimate clients in your opportunity zone, in this kind of middle area. but you're not sure yet. So that's a second group of clients that every practice has. And then the third group is what I call the danger zone. And this is the large number of small relationships who have no potential to move into that ultimate client zone, but they're on your books. You say, I'm not going to worry too much about them because they're small. They don't generate a lot of problems. They don't call the office too much. So I'll just kind of ignore them and leave them alone. That's a mistake. That is an opportunity for you to damage your reputation. What if a top prospect knows one of the clients in your danger zone, one of those clients that you ignore, and says, well, would you recommend your advisor, or would you recommend yourself based on your dealings with that advisor? And they're going to say, no, he never calls me. But they aren't a fit for your business, but they're impacting the way that they're impacting your business because they can talk about your business. I know that might sound a little confusing, but most advisors have a big group of clients in that danger zone. People who will never be ultimate clients, who could only damage your reputation, and you have to find a way to deal with them. Whether you get rid of them or have a lower level service method, I don't care. But you have to have a way of doing them. But most importantly, for our purposes today, you need to be thinking about less is more. You have your ultimate clients, you have the clients in your opportunity zone, and you have clients in the danger zone. Let's look at a real world example. I was working just a year or so ago with an advisor with a significant practice, well over $100 million, who works with 233 relationships. And when we broke his book down, his group of clients down into the ultimate client zone, the opportunity zone, and the danger zone, what we found is that 71 of his clients fell into that top group of ultimate clients. They represented 82% of his assets. So 71 clients represented 82% of the assets. These were his ultimate clients. We then said, who falls into that opportunity zone, that next level of clients? And what we found was there are 67 clients who represented 14% of his assets. So a significant portion of his assets, but if you think about the average size of the relationships, much, much smaller than his ultimate clients. And then he had fully 95 clients. The biggest group of clients were in that danger zone, in that bottom zone. They represented 4% of his assets. And when we looked at this from a revenue perspective, the percentages mirrored each other. They may have been off by a percent or two, but they were very close to that 82%, that 14%, and that 4%. So this really represented a question for this advisor. If I have 233 relationships and 71 of them represent 82% of my business, then that means I have over 150 relationships that I'm taking care of that only account for less than 20% of my business. A third of my relationships roughly account for 4% of my business. There's something outsized there. How is this all going to work out in a wash if I'm really committed to delivering the ultimate client experience to my ultimate clients? And he had a very specific communication schedule that he was trying to use with his clients. That was one of the things that we had been tweaking. I helped my clients create communication calendars for the different ways that they want to communicate with their clients. And what we found was he was beyond capacity because of the things that he wanted to do for his clients at those different levels and the things that he wanted to do for the prospects that were in his pipeline. That he really didn't have enough time. There weren't enough hours in the day. So when it comes to delivering the ultimate client experience, when it comes to really serving your ultimate clients and growing your ultimate clients, you have to remember that capacity will impact your performance. What generally ends up happening is that level of service that you want to provide to your best clients, to your top clients, will be diminished by the fact that you'll be sucked into serving clients who fall into the lower zones even though you may not intend to do that. So your lower tier clients end up getting more help than you intend to give them, maybe even than they need, where your ultimate clients suffer. They don't get what you promise. The other thing that happens when you think about capacity impacting your performance is client acquisition. Um, a lot of advisors think that client acquisition is a game of large numbers, that the more prospects you have, the better off you'll be. Well, that's not true. If your prospecting focuses on bringing in ultimate clients, then prospecting doesn't become a game of large numbers. Prospecting is not a game of large numbers. It's the process of finding the right number of new ultimate client relationships. So blending the way that you communicate on an ongoing basis with your clients, identifying your prospects and communicating with your future clients, your prospects, doesn't have to take all of the time it does. And you can get some of that capacity back. In fact, you can gain greater freedom when you're focusing on your business this way. So let me go back to that example. Here's what we did in this specific example. We said we're going to eliminate 95 relationships. We're going to eliminate the bottom relationships that represented 4% of his assets. And he's helped those clients find new advisors, somebody else to take care of them. The next thing that he's doing is he's putting a question mark next to every relationship that is in that opportunity zone, determining whether they have the potential to elevate. But his goal and his willingness is to eliminate those 67 clients as well. So instead of having 233 relationships from his existing relationships, he said he'd be willing just to get rid of everything but the top 71 that represent 82% of his business, and then just grow from there. Just figure out what it takes to replace those relationships. And when we did the math and looking at the average asset size and the average revenue size of those ultimate client relationships, what we found was that if he just added 6 new ultimate clients and he simultaneously found new homes for those bottom 2 groups of clients, he would get back to where he was. He'd get back to that level of assets that he was already working with just 6 relationships. So 6 clients could replace over 150 other relationships. The other thing that we discovered is that if he added 12 new relationships over the next year, which he has done, he would actually grow his business by 20%. So he brought in 12 new relationships, roughly 1 a month. A couple of them actually came from that opportunity zone, that middle tier, that middle group of clients. But he added 12 new relationships, roughly 1 a month, and grew his overall AUM by 20%. So instead of having 233 relationships generating the level of business and representing the level of assets that he was already working with, he now has 93 relationships, not 233, but 93 relationships, and his business, his AUM is 20% plus higher. These numbers apply to your business. They apply to every advisor's business. Maybe the tweaks are different, but this is an essential exercise to run through. And one of the most important things that I do is I help advisors move up the ladder of success as a financial advisory practice, moving from being scrambling and trying to do all things or be all things to all people, to being assured, feeling pride and freedom because you're working with the kind of clients that you like to work with. You have a great team, and you have processes in place that will ensure the longevity of your business. So where are you? Where is your business today? And how could you improve it by implementing the processes that I was just describing as I was going through some of the key concepts from my book, Delivering the Ultimate Client Experience? Where could you be? Where could you be? I'd like to help you find out. I'd actually like to talk with you about how to apply the ENCORE roadmap, the AUM 250 roadmap, to your business. So if you're trying to get to 50 million or 100 million or $250 million or beyond in assets under management, I'd like to show you how you can apply it to your business. And one of the things that we'll certainly talk about is delivering the ultimate client experience and how that plays a role in this process. And there's an easy way to do it, a no obligation way to do it. I'd love to hop on the phone with you for what I call a fast track call. We'll talk for 20 minutes about your business and how you can apply my roadmap to your business to get on track to that next level of success for your practice. And all you need to do is go to my website, go to encorepartners.com/fast-track. You'll see a screen that looks something like this. Just pick a time that fits your schedule. Just go to encorepartners.com/fast-track. Pick a time that fits your schedule, enter your name and your email address, and then I'll call you on the day and time that you pick. I hope to talk to you soon because I'd love to share with you more about applying both the ENCORE roadmap and the ultimate client experience process to your practice as you grow your AUM. It's a great ride. Hope to talk to you soon.